Hi, I'm David Fleming from the Disciples Ignited YouTube channel, where we're focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now today we're continuing on our study on the Apostle Paul, his life and ministry, and we're going to conclude our study on this great debate that Paul has with the Jerusalem Council on what it takes to be saved. There were those in the Jerusalem church that felt that all Gentiles needed to really become Jewish proselytes first. The Gentile man had to be circumcised, and they would have to keep the law, and then they could become Christians, followers of Jesus. Paul wouldn't have it. He said, no, the gospel that Jesus taught me was the gospel by grace through faith in Jesus alone, not of works, lest any man should boast. Paul would not relent. Now, you know, this could have blown up. This could have really divided the church. But one thing I want to say of great importance is there's always been drama in the church. There's always been disagreements. There's doctrinal disagreements that are still debated today. But what we need to strive for is, first of all, put our focus on Jesus and realize that he is the head of one body, of which if you put your faith in Jesus, you're part of the body of Christ. Now, what do we need to do to work this out so that we can live together, work together, minister together as one body in unity? So there was great debate. But thankfully, the Jerusalem Council just made a few demands, and they said, we want the Gentile believers to do this and this and this, but they had nothing to do with a work salvation, trying to earn our merit with God. They said, no, we're just asking that they would do this to keep peace with the Jews, because these are very important to the Jewish believers, and that if the Gentiles would do this, that would help bring unity. And Paul said, not a problem, we will do that. These were just dietary requests, and then to also abstain from sexual immorality, which Paul said, yeah, we're good to go. I will share this with all the Gentile believers. But see, the unity in the church was preserved. Paul was willing to compromise in matters of personal taste, but not in personal conviction. He knew that salvation was by grace and faith in Jesus alone. That's it. And he would not give in to any of their demands to have the Gentiles embrace keeping the law and circumcision and all that. He said, absolutely not. But he was willing to allow for the Gentiles to be taught certain dietary laws to keep unity in the body. What does that teach us? We need to strive for unity in the body of Christ, but understand that there are always going to be differences. Always. We have cultural differences. We have church traditional differences. And some of these we hold very strongly to because of our convictions. But you know, if those convictions can be compromised in order to keep peace without compromising your relationship with the Lord, then it's fine. You know, sometimes if you are sitting with people and they have a strong conviction to do one thing and you don't hold that conviction, well, maybe it's okay just to go along with them. It's fine. You're keeping peace. Just like Paul did. Paul was not a lone ranger by any means. He worked with the body. So he submitted to the authority and worked together with these dictates from the Jerusalem Council. And that brought peace and unity in the body, but preserved the revelation of the gospel, that it is by grace through faith in Jesus alone. Thank God for Paul, that stuck firmly to the gospel, but its willingness to compromise on non-essentials. May we do the same.